The following is a CSPN Media podcast presentation.
Hello, and welcome to Know the Score. I'm your host, Don Delarente, and I'm back with my weekly NASCAR review. This week, we're going to talk about the Pennzoil 400 from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So first and foremost, thank you for listening to CSPN and Know the Score. Listen to us and follow us each and every week at www.cspn.us. Also search for KTS Pod on your podcast channels, podcast catchers, and you'll get the NASCAR review each and every week. Also check out our companion video episode on YouTube as well. So you don't just want to listen to my voice, you can also see some visuals over on YouTube. So we get into the storylines heading into this week off of Kyle Busch winning in California last week. We get breaking news middle of the week. Chase Elliott has been injured. It's revealed that he breaks his leg in a snowboarding accident and he will miss several races as he is on the mend. So first and foremost, get well to Chase Elliott and hope that he heals rather quickly and doesn't have to miss too much time. Will also be interesting to see if he gets the same type of grace that Kyle Busch did in the year that he won his championship when he broke his leg in a racing accident at Daytona in the Xfinity Series. So when that time comes and Chase Elliott gets back in the car, we'll guess NASCAR will figure that out. In the meantime, Josh Berry has been pulled from the ranks of Junior Motorsports to replace Chase Elliott in the number 9 car. So at least for the next few races, Josh Berry is the plan to get that seat. So good for Josh Berry, a guy who has been touted by Dale Jr. as one of the best racers, short track racers, late model racers in the sport. Finally has gotten a chance over the last couple of years to be in the Xfinity Series, has won a handful of races, qualified for the playoffs in Xfinity. So a very capable driver, and we'll see what he can do in the next few weeks as he gets his chance with Hendrick Motorsports. Just an opportunity for Josh Berry as he could maybe parlay this into a full cup NASCAR Cup Series ride with another team. There's a lot of teams out there who will be needing drivers this coming up off season, and maybe if Josh Berry can find a way to be impressive in this debut and audition, he could be one of those guys to get one of those open seats. Coming into the race weekend, Joey Logano wins the pole. Joey has been notoriously fast here at Las Vegas Speedway, so it's no surprise that he is the guy to sit on the number 1 spot. You got William Byron qualifying second on the outside pole, so William Byron rising to the top here, showing Hendrick Motorsports and Chevy's dominance early in the season. Tyler Reddick, he had major issues. He had engine issues, and he misses the practice and the qualifying. So no track time, which is very valuable with these new cars early in the season for Tyler Reddick. So he is starting the race at a major disadvantage. So we get into the start of the race in stage 1, where Logano leads the opening laps, but William Byron and Kyle Larson put Hendrick Motorsports out front 20 laps into the race. Kyle Busch, he gets into the wall and he drops out of the top 10. He was looking like a real major contender early in the race, but scraping the wall in these cars very hard is not the thing that you want to do, and it basically took Kyle Busch out of contention for the day. Ron Blaney, he's having an ill handling race car after starting near the front, and he starts a string of green flag pit stops, at lap 33. William Byron remains in the lead after the pit stop cycle through, and stage 1 once again this week goes caution free, and William Byron wins stage 1. Pretty good racing in the beginning of stage 1 there. Once Byron cleared Logano and Kyle Larson cleared Logano, and it was clear that he had some major issues as far as handling. Things began to get a little stretched out, but you saw some guys in the back, especially the Toyota crew, make some moves up into the top 10, especially Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin. They were pretty much following each other up through from the top 12, 13 into the top 10, top 5. So your top 10 after stage 1: William Byron, Kyle Larson, Ross Chastain, Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex, Alex Bowman, Bubba Wallace, Kyle Busch, and Brad Keselowski. Good recovery by Kyle Busch after hitting the wall and getting knocked out of the top 10 before the pit stop, but he was able to get back into the top 10. He had a very fast car in stage 1. The Toyota crew, like I said last week, they were going to be fast, and they definitely were scattered all through the top 10. Brad Keselowski, the only Ford representing in stage 1 with the top 10, and William Byron, the class of the field so far in stage 1. Very obvious that Kyle Larson had a strong car, but he didn't have anything to catch William Byron with once he got out in front. So we come into stage 2, and after the stage break caution, William Byron and Larson drive to the lead, but all of a sudden there's a new player in the top 3, and his name is Alex Bowman. He joins his Hendrick teammates as they are currently dominating stage 2. Truex is the first car in the top 10 to pit with 42 laps to go in the stage. William Byron comes out the leader after the pit stop cycle. Stage 2 goes all the way green, and William Byron sweeps the first 2 stages. So William Byron definitely flexing his muscle, just like Ross Chastain did last week. The only question is, could they have a good pit stop? Could they have enough racecraft to bring that car home in the finish that it deserves, which is the checkered flag? So in stage 2, we had William Byron winning the stage, Larson in second, Bowman in third, Truex in fourth, Bell in fifth, Bubba Wallace in sixth, Chastain in seventh, Hamilton in eighth, Keselowski in ninth, and Kevin Harvick making it into the top 10 in stage 2. Harvick has a good track record at Las Vegas as well, doing what he usually does. You know, he's not really a factor until it's time to take the checkered flag, and he's getting himself in position here in stage 2 within the top 10, getting stage points. Good run for Bubba Wallace, especially after the last 2 weeks where he did not finish. He's gotten stage points in both of the stages. He's well within the top 10 on the outside of the top 5. To a promising day for Bubba Wallace as he's trying to recover and just have a good point today so he can get some positive points on the scoreboard when it comes to trying to make the playoffs. We get to the stage 3 caution flag, and during the pit stops, Kyle Busch, he can't get around Tyler Reddick, as Tyler Reddick has blocked his exit in his pit stall, and it drops Kyle Busch all the way back to 15th. When we take the green flag, William Byron takes the lead at the restart. We get our first caution for accident when Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski come together after racing 3 wide with Kyle Busch. Joey Logano takes a wild ride through the infield after hitting the wall and spinning out. gets airborne. Pretty cool visual for Joey Logano on the television screen as he went across the infield grass there, basically ruining any chances of Logano having a good day. The Penske bunch, they struggled. Ryan Blaney had an ill handling race car for much of this race. Denny Hamlin, he takes 2 tires to get out front after that pit stop after that caution that was caused by Logano and the subsequent pit stops. William Byron, for the first time in the day, is not starting on the front row. He restarts 4th. Kyle Larson, he wrestles the lead away from Denny Hamlin. And so stage 3 is, starting where we have Hamlin starting the green flag pit stops with 47 laps to go, and Larson pits 1 lap later. Larson stays out front after the pit stop cycle, and we get, of course, the late race caution with 3 laps to go as Eric Almirola spins out. So we head into overtime. Martin Truex, hey, when you're in Vegas, you need to gamble, so he does. He stays out while all the leaders and most of the field, they come into pit road and they take 2 tires. So exactly, what Martin Truex was thinking was, I don't know, maybe he thought he could hold them off for the 2 laps, or they would maybe wreck behind him and he could maybe still win. None of that is the case, though, because Larson restarts 3rd as William Byron beats him off pit road. William Byron gets the lead from Truex, and then he holds off Larson and Bowman to win the Pennzoil 400. This is William Byron's 5th career win, his first win at Las Vegas. It was a great restart, and choose rule came into position here too, as well as Larson lined up behind Truex, and then William Byron was on the outside, so he had a greater chance of getting to the front than Larson did. And Alex Bowman pushed hard at the end so he could get a 3rd place finish. So Team Hendrick dominating the finish here at Las Vegas. Your top 10: William Byron celebrates in victory lane. Kyle Larson is 2nd. Alex Bowman is 3rd. Bubba Wallace is 4th. Christopher Bell 5th. Austin Cindric is 6th. Martin Truex is 7th. Justin Haley is 8th. Kevin Harvick, is 9th. And Daniel Suarez rounds out your top 10. Just a dominating performance by William Byron. Looked like Kyle Larson, through the help of his pit crew, was gonna get the win, as it looked like without the caution, William Byron wasn't gonna have enough laps to run him down. But the caution does come out, and William Byron secures the finish that he probably deserved. The fastest car at the track won. William Byron takes the flag at Las Vegas. Just a dominant day by Hendrick Motorsports. Kyle Larson, William Byron, 1 and 2 most of the day. Alex Bowman, midway through the 2nd stage, really came in and dominated, was in 3rd place for a lot of the day. Bubba Wallace, he had a good car underneath him, probably took a 8th or 9th place car and got it into the top 5 on the late restart. So congratulations and good run for Bubba Wallace and the Toyota gang. Christopher Bell, 5th place run as well. He was strong. Martin Truex Jr. with the late gamble to stay out on the tires got in the top 10 with 7th place. The guy who really probably fell out and deserved a better finish for Toyota during the day was Denny Hamlin. Not really a factor on the restart. Got shuffled out, taken to the back. Him and Kyle Busch, they finished outside the top 10. I think they were 12th and 13th respectively. So just a overall dominant performance by Hendrick Motorsports. Toyota, definitely the next best set of cars through 2311 and Joe Gibbs. And the Fords still have a little bit of work to do, as Austin Cindric and Kevin Harvick were the only 2 Fords to kind of make their way into the top 10. And Austin Cindric definitely with a late run due to restarts and some of those caution flags at the end there bunched together. use some strategy to get into the top 10. Kevin Harvick started to kind of make his way into the top 10 at the end of stage 2. Kind of remained there at the bottom of the top 10, but still a good run for him in his final year. In Trackhouse Racing, Daniel Suarez, Ross Chastain continuing to show their speed, even though Ross Chastain as well got shuffled out on that restart, just missed out on a top 10. So William Byron, the guy at Las Vegas, celebrating the win. And now we move on to Phoenix, where Kevin Harvick is the old master there. I'm sure he will be the odds-on favorite to take the victory there. So many wins, so just domination there at Phoenix by Kevin Harvick. Denny Hamlin, he'll definitely be a factor there as well. So it'll be a interesting last race for Kevin Harvick at Phoenix. I know this is a track he's going to have a lot of confidence at, so it should be a track that he feels good going to, and we should see a good effort from Stewart Haas Racing and Kevin Harvick especially. Just give a nod before we go to Josh Berry. Finished all the laps. He was a couple of laps down, but at least they got data to work with for him going forward. He got to fill the car for all of the laps, all 400 miles. So hopefully they can start putting a little bit of a notebook together to help him be more competitive. But it was a all in all good day for Josh Berry, even though on the results it won't show up through his finish. I'm sure everybody at Hendrick Motorsports was very happy with him bringing that car home in one piece and being able to have data to sit through and learn about him, and he can learn about that car and they get better. I expect his performance to improve greatly over the next couple of weeks, as long as he's allowed to drive that car and kind of get a feel for the adjustments and what to ask for and how to make it better. So good job for Josh Berry, his first ever run in the Cup Series, first ever time in the next gen car. So just a kudos to him. So until next week, folks, when we go out to the desert of Phoenix, I'm your host, Don Delarente, and now you know the score.